Hey everyone, this is me, the Undead Viking. I want to talk to you about this game. It's called The Cats of Ulthar. This is a two-player game in which each person is taking on the role of a spellcaster. And in this village you're living in, there are these two crazy old people that are killing all the cats. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to summon special cats that will surround you and protect you. And then you are able to then knock off this crazy old couple who is currently trying to kill off all these cats. Now, for whatever reason, you and the other spellcaster are racing to be able to do this first. Maybe there's a reward, or maybe you'll get kudos from the village, or maybe all the cats will love you, and then you can become the tyrant or leader of said cats. But regardless, you need to basically try to stop the other players from being able to summon the cats, while at the same time summon your own cats to be able to do it. And at the same time, both of you are going to have this kind of balance of power going back and forth, trying to make that happen. The game is relatively easy to learn, and is relatively easy to play, and also a fairly quick playing time of around 15 to maybe 30 minutes. If, like, the first time you play, you're going to edge into that 30 minutes. But after you and your opponent know how the game is played, you should be able to turn in a game in about 20 minutes or less. It's a lot of fun. The artwork's amazing. Let me just show you how the game is played, and we'll come back here and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, let me show you how to play Cats of Ulthar. Alright, so I've already kind of set up the game. It is a two-player game, as I said. And there's one really kind of a cool thing that goes on. You randomly are going to give each person one of these spellcaster cards, depending upon their ages. Whoever the oldest will get the card that says the oldest spellcaster right there. You can see oldest player as the oldest spellcaster. And as you can probably guess, you have this one where, and then it has the youngest player. And so that's just a way to set up the game and determine, even if like you were born seconds apart, if you were identical twins, you can easily divvy it up. The Cotter and Wife card stands in the middle. That is the card that eventually you have to kill that card. There are cards in the player cards that one of them is a kill card, and you have to be able to cast that spell, cast that kill card on the Cotter and Wife to win the game. Now you may have noticed that on these cards they have these numbers here, like 1, 2, and 3. Those are the 3 different slots that you're going to be putting your cats. The whole point is that you're trying to summon cats to place in these 3 locations, and they have to match both the number, basically the slot, and also the color as well. There are some other cards over here, the Cotter and Wife cards. After each person takes a turn, you'll draw a card off of this, and that's almost always a bad thing that's going to happen. Hopefully it happens to your opponent, not you. And then there's ancient elder gods that are going to be at play here, because of course it is a Cthulhu-themed game. If you actually cast a spell and kill one of your opponent's cats, you have to draw an ancient elder god, and they will have some sort of negative thing that's going to happen to you. Alright, so to play the game, it's relatively simple. You just determine whoever's the first player is going to be, and then each person's going to start with 4 cards. So I'm just shuffle these up. Let's see what I got here. Alright, so, well, I got a kill card right away. This is, kind of nice. So this is the kill card. You can only have one of these cards in your hand at any time. You hold on to that, and hopefully after you get the 3 cats summoned, or I guess I'd be this player, 1, 2, and 3. After you get those 3 cats summoned, then you'd be able, on your turn, if you have the 3 cats summoned and you have the kill card, you're able to place that over the top and then win the game. Let's see what else I got here. Alright, I got 2 cats. I have a Singapura cat, and this one actually, so the cats all have like a description here, and then has where they can be placed. This is actually going to work out really well for me because I actually have an orange 2, and this is an orange 2 cat. But here we go. It says Singapura cats always avoid being hanged. Hanged is like, because cats can be killed in many different ways. There is a way that cats get hanged, and this cat can be fielded to there. My white cat, white cats can't be poisoned, and then they can be fielded to the blue one. Well, actually, I got really lucky. I got 2 cats that can both be placed. So, just trying to figure, oh, and I also got a protection spell. So protection spells are a little bit different. When you have a protection spell, it's a reaction. So like if I get attacked by either of these 2 abilities, I can go ahead. Now, I'll dig through the deck and find some of the attack cards as well. But so like a Sinister Flames or a Murky Waters, if I get attacked from those, I can use this card to protect myself from them. And then they actually have a symbol there as well. So an upward pointing arrow or a triangle and a downward pointing triangle. So let's go ahead and I'll just take my Singapura cat, and then on my turn, I would place that like so, and I'd be able to put that down. All right, so I don't have any card. I don't have any cards for the other player. Let me just grab some for them. And let's just see what the other player gets. And maybe we'll, oh, well, they got lucky and got a kill card as well. So manipulation spell, Mirror Master. Opponent holds up the cards in their hand but hides at the end of each card. You pick one of your opponent's cards and then you swap it out. You know, just basically steal a card from somebody. Protection spell, Magic Collection. Full protection for you and your cats against all magic for 1 turn. So like if they had this, you could have that to protect yourself. And then levitation spell. Opponent's fielded cat of your choice is smashed into a tree. Remove cat card and send to player's discard pile. So that's like, there you go, that's an attack card. All right, so let me just, so let's go ahead. They didn't get any cats though. So technically, like, they don't really have a card to play. So this is kind of an interesting situation. I mean, they could, you know, like, play this to, you know, have Magic Collection, but they really don't have anything to defend themselves against. They could mess with me with this card. But in the situation where you don't have the ability to play any cards at that time, or you choose not to, what you can do is, like, you know, you could probably, like, you know what, I'm just going to get rid of the Mirror Master card. You're going to discard that, and then this player can then draw another card. The biggest thing is that, oh, and I forgot to actually draw a card for me after I put that card. I don't even know what I got, but here, okay. So the biggest thing is that, like, so, and then they got another protection spell. So this person's like, ah, man, I just have no luck at all. You know, so, but here, like, protection from Witch's Brew and protection from Minced Whore. And once again, you have those symbols if you know, recognize. Okay, so let me just see. Now, that was that player over there. So, oh, and then now we would draw a Cotter and Wife card. So we're going to turn that because both players have gone. And then we have Witch's Brew. Oh, man. So oldest player's card in slot 2 is poison. Remove cat card and send to player's discard pile. Well, this stinks because unless, no, it's only by a hint. So, all right, so we would have that card, Witch's Brew. Now, here's a couple of interesting things. I can actually kind of cheat a little bit. But this would normally, bam, this cat would be killed. But notice, like, that can't be poison stuff, like if that had, you know, happened to be like the white cat, like it says it can't be poisoned, like that would not have worked on that. And oh, my other card I got was a tabby cat. That was the card I drew. And notice how the tabby cat has 2 different spots it can go at, but neither of those are good for me because neither of them will work. But I'm just going to show you, if you like, you see here on like this Witch's Brew card, like where it has like that symbol up there, like the little barbell, or you know, I guess kind of an infinity symbol, or not really, I don't know, it's just a symbol. But anyway, so you see that symbol right there as I wait for the camera to focus in a little bit. You have that, and notice on this card, the Cauldron Hex, you can see that symbol is there as well, the Witch's Brew. And so, like, not only does it have the name, so I kind of like that. It's like, if you can't, you know, like, as far as language independence and stuff like that, having the symbol on there makes it easy to notice that. So, that's how the Cotter Wife card works. So, let's just, I'm going to kind of cheat and play around with this a little bit. This is really weird because this one won't even be working on them. So, like, if on my turn, if I put, like, a white cat up here, meaning I got that spot, I would draw a card, and now I got a black and white cat. And then the black and white says, black and white cats always escape traps and can be fielded onto those spots. All right, so let's just show you how like an attack works. So levitation, like the player could play this spell. Opponent is fielded cat of your choice is smashed, but through levitation. If they played that as their card, then they draw one. Let's see what they got. Ooh, they got a black cat, and they'd be able to play that because the black cat can go over there. But I'm just gonna, so after destroying that, now that player would be forced to draw an ancient card. So here's an Ancient Elder card, and it says, if Cat Killer has a Kill, Caster, and Wife card in their hand, they must trade it with their opponent for a card of the opponent's choosing in hand. And this is kind of an interesting situation because, remember, I have a kill card. Normally, they'd probably have to hand over that kill card, but I can't actually take the kill card because I have a kill card in my hand. So I would have to reveal the fact that I have a kill card to my opponent, so meaning I can't take that kill card from them. So nothing would happen in that situation. So it's kind of a weird way that worked, but you know, it's just one of those things where this game does have a little bit of a chaos thing going on, and it has some interesting decisions and what have you as well. Now, let me just kind of dig through and let me show you some of the other cards that are available as far as like there's some like magic deflection cards. It's just full protection for you and your cats against magic for 1 turn, so people can't cast spells on you. There are also mystic cats, like have a mystic thing, and if you notice, they're it's a black and white cat like we've seen before, but it always escapes traps. But white cats can be fielded anywhere, so you know, I could place that one in that 2 spot, if you will. And just to kind of show you how, like, getting one more, I like this one too, where apparently, like, the jack-o'-lantern spell, you know, is turned into a pumpkin, so you can kill your opponent's cats by turning them into a pumpkin. But just to kind of show you, like, because I need a green 3, and so, of course, here we go. So now I have the black-footed African cat, and it says, black-footed African cats always avoid being turned into a pie. This cat can be fielded to 3. So as soon as one person has the full 3 cats over, and they have a kill card, they place that in the middle, and then they will win the game of the Cats of Ulthar. I really dig the art of this game. I think it's amazing. I think it's a really, really great 1 versus 1 type game that can be played in about 20 minutes or less. It has enough strategy, enough like as far as like interesting choices that you have to make on each turn, as far as, you know, and enough chaos going on that, like, you can't just like count cards, and you can't just say, oh, I need to do this, that, and the other thing, and that means to win. Sometimes your best laid plans can get screwed up on you, and then you have to restart and like try a different method. But the game's a lot of fun. My kids and I had a lot of fun playing with it. I even brought this to game night and played quick little games of this with my friends as we waited for larger games to start. But let me talk about that and more in my final thoughts. Okay. The Cats of Ulthar, or Ulthar. Now, this is based on a story by H.P. Lovecraft. Of course, I've read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft. The guy can be pretty wordy. This story just basically kind of slipped underneath my radar. Or maybe I read it when I was in high school, I'm just not remembering it. But regardless, I'm sure somebody out there might know, and then they can give me the background on it. Or maybe I can track down the story myself and read it. But regardless, as I said, the game is a lot of fun. You can teach it pretty quickly, and the iconography, and like I mentioned about like the different cards having the different icons on them, as well as like the locations. Plus, it's like it's pretty straightforward. It's like, oh, it can't be poisoned, and then there's a card that says you are poisoning this particular cat, or you can't turn this cat into a pumpkin, and there's a card that turns a cat into a pumpkin. So it's pretty straightforward as far as that goes. You know, and also, like, you know, just like you have the 3 slots, and you just got to match up the numbers and the colors in those slots, and you're able to put those cats down. The game can get pretty brutal, you know, quite honestly, especially like if you're trying to find a kill card, like you have your 3 cats, but you can't get a kill card in your hand, so you can't actually win the game. And there's a lot of tension moments as far as that is concerned. It's like, oh, they don't have a kill card yet. You know, do I take a chance at, like, you know, what am I going to do this particular turn? Do I try to get another? Do I put a cat out? Because you only get to take 1 action. You only get to play 1 card. So, you know, do I put a cat out this turn, or do I cast another spell to kind of destroy a cat, or do I run the risk of like angering the ancient old ones and like having something else bad happen? So, I mean, there's some cool things going on, and lots of like cool tension-filled reveal moments that I think really help out games like this. That, you know, have you know, this isn't a really deep, huge strategy game, but it has enough strategy going on that like you have to pay attention to what you're doing, and you also, you know, have to get a little lucky, and also it's one of those things where I think it has just the right amount of weight where like I'm able to enjoy it with everybody. Right? I played it with my wife. She had a good time. I played it with my kids. They both enjoyed it. My son even took it to play with my daughter. Like on their own. They just came in and grabbed it off the shelf one day, and that's cool, right? You walk into their bedroom and you see they got the game out and they're playing it. So I mean, it definitely is going to appeal to a wide spectrum of people. And I mean, they probably didn't have to go with like a Cthulhu H.P. Lovecraft theme, but the artwork really does it a lot of justice, and it is just a cool, fun little game. Like, as I said, you know, I played it before we played bigger games, or I played it as like cooldown games afterwards. And if I still worked at a big giant office, this would be in my bag of office games, because it's like that. It's perfect for, exactly doing that. It's I'm having lunch with a buddy. We're BSing about whatever's going on. Hey, why don't we play a game really quick while we're doing it at the same time? So there you go. If you have any questions about the Cats of Ulthar, by all means, ask away. I'll be happy to answer those as best as I can. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any comments or whatever about anything, go ahead. I will read those and I'll try to respond to those as well. And as always, just be the best version of you possibly can be. I guarantee you, the more positivity and the more happiness you put out into the universe, the more you're going to get back. It's just the way the world works, right? So, until next time, this is Cats of Ulthar. I'm the Undead Viking. You're awesome. See you then.